mandate of the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning is to manage the national economy and to ensure macroeconomic stability and economic development. The Kigali International Financial Center plays and will play a great role in our Vision 2050.
Kigali International Financial Center has been created to promote Kigali as a platform for financial innovation and financial investment in Rwanda, but also across Africa. And it has had a very good start and been able to attract a number of noticeable players already, and is continuing to do so.
The Kigali International Financial Center is coming within a context of rapid economic growth in Rwanda. Today, if you want to do business across the continent, we offer you Rwanda as a hub. You come here, you set up your business here, and then you can expand to the rest of the African continent.
In terms of untapped opportunities in Africa, we have access to expand. Yeah, we have a very large untapped market, can be catalyzed by technology today. Africa has the highest mobile penetration. That is in itself a really good opportunity to transmit those financial services.
We are in the middle of the digital transformation. We have new ways how to interact with finance, with our fingertips on our smartphones. In the financial industry, we call it fintech, financial transformation. This kind of trends, we have a big impact in the future.
Fintech is a key component of what we want to do in Rwanda, and that will have positive externalities for Rwanda, but also for Africa.
There are certain areas that require our attention in society where we haven't solved problems. And the one is financial products for young people, where you don't necessarily require collateral and where someone's financial background doesn't play a role. As an organization and as a founder, I believe that you need to stay as close to impact as possible. That's why our headquarters are based in Rwanda, because most of the students that we finance are based in Rwanda. So it's natural for us to want to base our fund in Rwanda.
One of the advantages investing through KIFC has is having those DTAs with fellow African countries helps to ease business entry from Rwanda to the rest of Africa. And having a young team of professionals whose single focus is to help you set up your business has been one of the most beautiful experiences I've had worldwide doing business.
One of the critical factors here is having a credible framework that the market will accept. We mean the right laws, we mean the right regulations, we mean the right approach to compliance, and Rwanda at great speed are passing these laws, and that's very encouraging to see.
When it comes to Africa is a growing market. Now recently 55 countries of Africa have decided to embark on the continental free trade area, which is the largest globally. And this makes even more attractive Africa as a destination for investment.
This is a game changer for the continent for a number of reasons. First, there will be increased focus in the trading of value-added products and services. There will be the benefit of comparative advantage as well between countries. There will also be the benefit coming from the fact that intra-African trade transactions will be settled in local African currencies.
The financial sector plays a key role in the functioning and the development of any economy. That is the place where people who are innovators and entrepreneurs and need capital meet the providers of capital, and there can be no economic growth, no successful businesses if that connection is not done effectively and efficiently.
Financial innovation is key to unlocking sort of our economic growth on the continent. And the fact that Rwanda is leading that is again showing how it's being sort of a beacon of light around our financial innovation. Making Rwanda a financial center will have a significant impact for the region.
This is Africa's turn, it's happening, and financial services is at the heart of that. It's the lifeblood, it's the heart, it's the lungs. I mean, any metaphor, analogy you can take, financial services is indispensable to finally lift Africans out of poverty, provide them with the jobs they need and the prosperity they need.
The mandate of the Minister of Finance and Economic Planning is to manage the national economy and to ensure macroeconomic stability and economic development. The Kigali International Financial Center plays and will play a great role in our Vision 2050.
Kigali International Financial Center has been created to promote Kigali as a platform for financial innovation and financial investment in Rwanda, but also across Africa. And it has had a very good start and been able to attract a number of noticeable players already, and is continuing to do so.
The Kigali International Financial Center is coming within a context of rapid economic growth in Rwanda. Today, if you want to do business across the continent, we offer you Rwanda as a hub. You come here, you set up your business here, and then you can expand to the rest of the African continent.
In terms of untapped opportunities in Africa, we have access to expand. Yeah, we have a very large untapped market, can be catalyzed by technology today. Africa has the highest mobile penetration. That is in itself a really good opportunity to transmit those financial services.
We are in the middle of the digital transformation. We have new ways how to interact with finance, with our fingertips on our smartphones. In the financial industry, we call it fintech, financial transformation. This kind of trends, they have a big impact in the future.
Fintech is a key component of what we want to do in Rwanda, and that will have positive externalities for Rwanda, but also for Africa.
There are certain areas that require our attention in society where we haven't solved problems. And the one is financial products for young people, where you don't necessarily require collateral and where someone's financial background doesn't play a role. As an organization and as a founder, I believe that you need to stay as close to impact as possible. That's why our headquarters are based in Rwanda, because most of the students that we finance are based in Rwanda. So it's natural for us to want to base our fund in Rwanda.
One of the advantages investing through KIFC has is having those DTAs with fellow African countries helps to ease, business entry from Rwanda to the rest of Africa. And having a young team of professionals whose single focus is to help you set up your business has been one of the most beautiful experiences I've had worldwide doing business.
One of the critical factors here is having a credible framework that the market will accept. We mean the right laws, we mean the right regulations, we mean the right approach to compliance, and Rwanda at great speed are passing these laws, and that's very encouraging to see.
When it comes to Africa is a growing market. Now recently 55 countries of Africa have decided to embark on the continental free trade area, which is the largest globally. And this makes even more attractive Africa as a destination for investment.
This is a game changer for the continent for a number of reasons. First,
good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome all to the 2023 Rwanda Investment Summit. I will walk you through the agenda real quick as we welcome our panelists today. We will have welcome remarks from the High Commissioner, Mr. Johnston Busingye. We'll have a RDB presentation from Lauren Nkuranga, and then our panel discussions will start. We will have panelists from BIA Chief Legal Officer, and we'll have Johnston International CFO. We will also have Nala Money founder and CEO, and we'll also have DTOS managing director. And then later on, we'll have a question and answer session. To kick off right now, can you please help me welcome our High Commissioner, Mr. Johnston Busingye.
Distinguished guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you to the team at AFSIC for organizing this important conference. I am delighted to welcome you to our session on Rwanda, the investment environment, and the myriad of opportunities available to forward-thinking investors. By way of introduction, I am Johnston Busingye, and I am Rwanda's High Commissioner to the UK, as just introduced. Our role at the High Commission is to facilitate and ensure your investment journey is as smooth as possible. Our door is always open, and please feel free to reach out to us if you have an institution, sector, opportunity, or concept you wish to reach or realize in Rwanda. Ladies and gentlemen, a few weeks ago, Moody's credit rating agency upgraded Rwanda's outlook to stable. Moody's cited the consistent economic growth, 9.2% year-on-year in the first quarter of 2023, following 8.2% growth in 2022. Moody's also referenced its positive assessment of the country's effective institutions and credible policies. The numbers show a strong economic rebound after the shattering effects of COVID-19. Investors are drawn to Rwanda thanks to our ease of doing business, the transparency and lack of corruption they encounter, and the enabling environment for innovation. In September alone, it was announced that Rwanda will host the world's first dual fluid nuclear reactor. BioNTech's InstaDeep have chosen Rwanda as an AI research hub in Africa, and Africa's only digestive cancer center will open its doors in November. Many of you will have heard how Rwanda's regulatory sandbox has enabled a proof of concept environment. One of my favorite examples is the Silicon Valley startup Zipline, whose drones deliver medical supplies to our rural areas. Not only have they expanded their service to other African countries outside of Rwanda, but they will soon be looking into deliveries beyond medical supplies. Alongside economic growth, Rwanda has also witnessed great strides in the prosperity and quality of life of our people. Universal health coverage now stands at 90%. Life expectancy has gone from 49 years in 2000 to over 70 years today. We are on course to achieve universal access to primary education as well, with net primary school enrollment at 98%. The result is we are proudly now producing over 50,000 higher education graduates every year. Our National Transformation Plan, the Vision 2050, raises our ambitions and sets clear targets to become an upper middle income country by 2025 and high income by 2035, and high income by 2050. A part of Rwanda's ease of doing business rating is thanks to our digital e-services platform, an app known as Irembo, which is a huge help in cutting times and streamlining processes for investors. Another key element is the efficiency of our Rwanda Development Board. The Rwanda Development Board is a one-stop shop for trade and investment. Their mandate as an institution is to accelerate Rwanda's economic growth. To do this, they support investors through every step of their investment journey in the country. Alongside RDB, I'm delighted that we are joined today by the team from the Kigali International Financial Center, KIFC for short. KIFC aims to develop and promote Rwanda as a financial services hub. KIFC has already begun establishing an upskilled financial services sector and ensuring Rwanda has a cutting-edge legal and regulatory framework. Dear friends, I'm pleased to announce that Rwanda Air, the national carrier, will start flying 6 times a week from London to Kigali to cater for the influx of leisure and business travelers, that is from November this year. It is now easier than ever for you to visit Rwanda and explore conducting business there. And as mentioned, the team at RDB and all of us are happy to support your visit. On arrival in Kigali, you will be warmly welcomed. A recent Condé Nast Traveler article described Kigali as a sustainably minded creative hotspot, sprouting ethical design studies, coffee shops, and farm-to-fork restaurants. The safety of visitors is also guaranteed. Crime rates are extremely low, and one can walk alone at any time of the day or of the night. Please also make sure when you go to relax during your time in the land of 1,000 hills, whether it is safaris in Akagera Park, chilling on the tranquil shores of Lake Kivu, trekking to find the chimpanzees in Nyungwe, or tracking the majestic mountain gorillas in the mist. To conclude, in Rwanda, you will find an investment environment built on efficiency, transparency, good governance, and zero tolerance for corruption. The government is committed to ensuring investors find a consistently safe and friendly environment. I will now happily hand over to my colleagues from the RDB and from the Kigali International Financial Center to provide the technical and further details on the opportunities in Rwanda. I wish you all fruitful discussions in this session ahead. Thank you for your very kind attention.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, High Commissioner Johnston Busingye. Moving forward, we'll have RDB presentation from Lauren Nkuranga, who is the Chief Advisor to the Chairman and CEO of Rwanda Development Board. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you so much, and thank you, High Commissioner, for your wonderful remarks. So I just want to start out. So for those of you new to Rwanda, it's a really great place. night alone and felt totally safe. Exactly. It is an unbelievably safe and easy place to do business when it comes to just living. We have very low traffic, and it's just a pleasant, clean, beautiful place to be. We're obviously business friendly. You can start a business in 6 hours. We welcome foreigners, and we welcome you to come and start your business in Rwanda. We also are incredibly strategically located in the region, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And we are IT ready. We have fast internet across the entire country. So you're going to be able to get your connectivity when you come to Rwanda. When it comes to doing business, we have our one-stop center at the Rwanda Development Board. That is your place to get everything you need when it comes to interacting with government for approvals. So any sort of permit, license from any ministry, you come to RDB and we have a one-stop center for everything you need. So we're incredibly efficient when it comes to making sure that you have the approvals and the licenses that you need to get your work done. We, of course, have our incentives. Now, for those of you that are looking to start a business in Rwanda, we'd be happy to meet with you to talk about those incentives and the various ways that we can make sure that doing business in Rwanda works for you. We, of course, have efficient and supportive processes with free business registration, for example, and, of course, the one-stop center. And as I mentioned, we are committed to foreign ownership. So we have no restrictions on your ability to own a business in Rwanda. So anyone in this room can come to Rwanda right now, we welcome you, and register your business. Now, many people look at Rwanda in terms of our geography and see opportunity. We are connected through Rwandair and through simple geography to be able to connect through the EAC, through COMESA, through the Everything But Arms Agreement, and of course through the Continental Free Trade Agreement. So Rwanda is a great place to domicile your business because you're going to get access to the wide range of resources across the continent. We also are a market much bigger than Rwanda. You'll actually be able to reach 80 million people by being in Rwanda. So not only are you going to get access to our 12 million, 13 million in the country itself, but you get access to a much wider range beyond our borders. And we're, of course, a growing financial hub. So through the Kigali Financial Center, which my colleague, I can't see Jean-Marie, he's here, around. Jean-Marie from the Kigali International Finance Center, and then my other colleagues here will be sharing a little bit more, but we are positioning ourselves as a financial hub. So if you're looking to operate throughout the continent, Rwanda is a great place to have your headquarters because of all of the benefits that we have in place through the Kigali International Financial Center, whether that's regulatory, whether that's through double taxation treaties, or making sure that we have the financial frameworks to be able to operate in the country. We have a number of companies that have already realized this vision, whether it's Ampersand, which has just raised their Series B, actually, and doing their electric motorcycles in the country. We have Volkswagen, Zipline. Zipline is now over $2.7 billion, and they're using drones to be able to deliver blood and other consumable goods, high-value consumable goods, throughout the country. So whatever your business is today, if you are a company looking to import something, we invite you to source from Rwanda, whether that's agricultural products, whether that's mining products. We are actually now a frontier market for technology metals, lithium, 3Ts, and gold. We invite you to source from Rwanda. If you are a financial investor, we actually have a capital matchmaking team at RDB to be able to connect your investment portfolio with pipeline opportunities in the country. So if you're looking for investment opportunities, I welcome you again to have a conversation with me or my colleagues, and we'd be happy to help you find pipeline opportunities in the country. If you are a company already operating on the continent and looking to move into your next country, we invite you to scale to Rwanda. We've just had Flutterwave, for example, domicile in the country, and it's a place where more and more companies are seeing a great place to scale. And if you're like Kate Spade, we invite you to operate in Rwanda. Start a factory, start your business. It's a great place also when it comes to research and development. If you're looking to enter Africa from the start and looking for a place that is a good place to figure out the right product market fit, Rwanda is a wonderful place to start and then scale from. Some specific opportunities, if you're looking for some greenfield opportunities that we can help facilitate at RDB, include, Kigali Innovation City, which is going to be the tech hub of East Africa, being able to bring together both international and domestic companies within the tech space. We have the Green City, which is being able to have mixed use, sustainable city from the ground up. We have Park Lane, which is a residential and commercial hub right in the middle of the city. We are also, of course, as the High Commissioner mentioned, a hub for tourism, high-value tourism. We, of course, have the beautiful mountain gorillas, and we're looking to develop our lake assets. So we have Karongi Lake Resort. This already has land available, and we're looking for the right developer to be able to take advantage of the beautiful lake. In addition to a golf resort, actually a little bit lower on the lake, again, the land is available, and we're looking for the right developer to come and be able to realize this opportunity. A little bit more north on the lake, we have a hot springs opportunity where there's natural hot springs, and again, land is available to develop. We, of course, have our conservation initiatives. If there's anyone here in conservation finance, it's a huge focus for the country. One of the opportunities right now is that we're actually building a kilometer around our northern national park, in Volcanoes National Park, to expand the habitat of the wild mountain gorillas. And this is something that we're also looking for the right partners in, whether you're using carbon credits or you have other innovative conservation finance mechanisms. We'd be very happy to talk with you about our conservation finance investment opportunities. So we thank you for listening to us today about the opportunities in Rwanda. As I mentioned, myself and my colleagues are here to be able to help you think about how to invest in, scale in, operate in, and source from Rwanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lauren. As Lauren said, please don't leave the room with any questions unanswered regarding investment in Rwanda. After the session, please reach out to us with any questions, any concerns, and any inquiry. Moving forward, please let me introduce our panel today. We will have our moderator, Business Development Manager at Rwanda Finance Limited, Lise Arakaza. Welcome, Lise. Next, we will have Mark Kenerdine-Davies, BEI Chief Legal Officer. Welcome, Mr. Mark. Next, we will have Lerato Nkabinde, Johnston International CFO. Welcome. And we will have Didier Veni, DTOS Managing Director. Welcome. Thank you very much. I'll hand over the next session to Lise, our moderator.
And the white paper was set out the country's aspirations to become an onshore financial centre. And we thought that was very interesting because we invest a significant amount of private capital in Africa every year. And we are very supportive of the efforts of any country that act as a conduit for capital going into Africa. So the choice is rather limited. There's Mauritius, which is absolutely fine. Casablanca in Morocco, which again is fine. But after that, the choice became a little more limited. And we saw that Rwanda were doing something to fill the gap. And we liked the way the Rwandan government, they were remarkably clear-sighted. They analysed the legal, regulatory and tax environment that one needs to underpin a successful centre. Looked at the sort of behaviours one would expect of a credible financial centre. And we liked what we saw. I'm sorry about this. The Rwandans passed a slew of laws, the sort of laws that a financial centre would need. They created a partnership law. They created good corporate laws, a law for collective investment schemes, laws for trusts, for foundations, for anti-money laundering, for anti-bribery and corruption, all the things one would expect to see, the building blocks, the framework for a credible international centre. They were serious, so we got serious, and we started engaging with Rwanda Finance Limited. And since then, we've been, we helped a little with some of the draft laws and regulations. We provided some comments on them, and some of those comments were accommodated when the laws were promulgated. We also made introductions to industry associations, to administrators, to law firms, etc., because we really liked what Rwanda was doing. And to this day, we're still hugely enthusiastic about the efforts of the Kigali International Finance Centre. It's good for Rwanda, it's good for Africa, it's good for development. So that's why we're still very keen to watch the Rwandan government, Rwanda Finance Limited, and KRC on its journey and help in the small way that we can. So that's our backstory. Yeah, then that's very rare with me, so thank you. I'll take that to the bank.
And for those that don't know, BII is the world's oldest development finance institution and one of the most significant investors on the African continent. So if there's one person to listen to, actually everyone is to listen to, but really take into context what Mark has just said. Lerato, we'll move on to you. With Johnston, you guys have done some extraordinary work in Rwanda, in South Africa, in Kenya, but it all started in Rwanda. So if you can give us a little background of what Johnston does, what you've done, and your experience with the financial center. And this is basically the decision process that you went through to decide to use Rwanda.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Lerato Nkabinde, and I'm the CFO of Johnston International. So what we do is that we offer an innovative student financing model, which is ethical and fair. And how you do that is we partner with education institutions that provide high quality education to the youth. And based on that, we'll finance the education of the young person. And then once you're employed, earning above a certain amount of money, then you start paying back a certain amount of your income. It's called an income share agreement. Where did Johnston start, and how do we end up in Rwanda? It started in Germany a few years ago, and then our co-founder and CEO of Batia came to do a feasibility study in Africa. And we had a pilot in Rwanda where we financed about 947 students, I think. And then the decision to finance in Rwanda started. Then the next step was, we started off as an NGO, non-for-profit, but now we needed to start a fund so we can get blended finance. And the decision was, where do we then domicile the fund? We did some research, we looked at different jurisdictions, and then we ended up settling in Rwanda because it's a place that allows for impact, for innovation, We have favorable tax laws that allow for investments to flow into Rwanda, and also the support from the private sector and from the government through the Kigali International Finance Center. We're able to do that, and it was the best decision for us.
Thank you so much, Lerato, for sharing that experience. We'll now move on to Didier. And Didier, DITAS currently has a presence in different financial hubs, including UAE, including Mauritius, and now recently in Rwanda. What factors led you to consider the Rwandan jurisdiction?
Thank you, Lise. In fact, the slogan that was coined by the KIFC in those days, financial center in Africa, for Africans, by Africans, really resonated to us. As of now, there is no IFC on the continent. Mauritius is part of Africa, for sure, but Mauritius is not on the continent. And as you know, Johannesburg is a financial powerhouse, yet it's not an IFC. And CFC, Casablanca Finance City, is having its own challenges to get some traction. So for us, having an IFC in the middle of the continent made sense, made geographical sense. The political stability as well was extremely important. That's an important ingredient for cross-border investments. So we've been following the gestation of KFC over the last 10 years, as Mark just said. In fact, our former finance minister, Dr. Ramasitanen, who's one of the pioneers of the global business in Mauritius, helped the RDB in those days to set up the ecosystem. And over the last 10 years, we've seen the commitment. We've seen the authorities and the promotion agencies walking the talk. So for us at DITOS, our presence in Kigali really complements what we already offer in Mauritius and in the Middle East. We believe that this financial center in Kigali will really connect the dots between Europe, China, India, Middle East, and Africa. That's one of the reasons why we've chosen KFC.
Cool. To my fellow Rwandans, Muraho. To my East Africans, Mambo Vipi. And to my Nigerians, good morning. My name is Benjamin. I'm from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. That's home. And as Lisa mentioned, we operate in 9 countries across Africa. So Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Cameroon. And Rwanda, actually, for my first time in Rwanda was actually last year at CHOGM, to the Commonwealth conference that took place in Rwanda. And one of the first people I met was Lise. She came up to me and she's like, okay, time for you to set up your office here, time for you to make sure you're investing here in Rwanda. And the proactiveness for people like Lisa really help us make us feel comfortable to explore investing in places like Rwanda. So for context on what we do international money transfer across Europe, UK, US to Africa. We do cross-border payments. So we have a business product for traders. We have a consumer product for remittance, general remittance. We're actually one of the largest remittance companies into Rwanda and one of the largest fintech companies in East Africa. So for us investing in Rwanda, what got us comfortable was definitely with policies that enable us as fintech companies to operate there. For us directly with fintech and financial services, regulation is really important to be able to be close to the central bank and be an enabler as the policies evolve. And with NRB, we received our remittance license in record time compared to most other African countries as well. So the central bank was very proactive in reaching out to us, talking to us about, okay, what are their concerns? Okay, and then we'd sit down with them and discuss what ways we can work together and collaborate. And so I think Rwanda does a significantly better job than most central banks that we've worked with in the proactiveness of trying to create enabling policies to enable fintech companies like ourselves to be investing there. So we've been, we do international money transfer to Rwanda, and right now, actually, our team is there, I think next week as well, as we continue our investments there. So I think enabling policies, the right people to work with there, the right organizations locally on the ground, make us feel safe and more comfortable investing. Us as Nalo will probably be investing about $1 million over the next 6 to 7 months in Rwanda, setting up what we're doing directly there, but also and using it as a hub for some of our operations directly as a business.
Great. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I feel like this is a full circle moment. As Benjamin said, we met last year at Choga, and my first interaction with him, I was talking about how great it is to invest in Rwanda. And this is one of the first people that I've met, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Like, right there, right then, he registered his company in Rwanda. And since then, he's been licensed, and he's now operational, creating jobs, making impact in Rwanda. So it's good to have you here. Moving on to you, Mark. We've done a lot of work together between BII and Rwanda Finance. And I feel like you're very fit for this question as the General Counsel of BII. From a legal perspective, what should international businesses and investors be aware of when considering a jurisdiction to invest from?
Well, I'll start with law and regulations, and then I'll move a little more broadly. I guess the things you ask yourself is, if you're going to think about investing in a country, can you structure your investments in the way you want to? I mean, are there effective and flexible company and securities laws? Can you enter the country and exit the country easily with your capital? Is the tax regime fair and consistently applied? And I think Rwanda offers that. You then have to say, well, if you've got laws and regulations, what are the regulators like? Do you have a competent regulator, requiring the right behaviors of everybody in the market, not just some, everybody? I think Rwanda's absolutely has that. Advisors, we all need advisors. I mean, God knows I need advisors. Are there competent counsel, tax advisors in the country? Yes, Rwanda has that. So all those are there. But the big questions are, do you have political stability? Yes. Do you have a stable economy? You heard the Commissioner talking about the growth in the Rwandan economy. You have that there as well. Then you've got what I call behavioral norms. And I can't emphasize how important this is. Do folks operate in the right way? Now, you can't say that everywhere in the world, and the right way, well, that's open to interpretation. But if I'm going to be investing, in my case, British government capital in a country, I would prefer it to be in a country where I'm confident that I'm not going to run into integrity issues and so forth. And so there's a general desire to comply with international standards. And I can assure you that Rwanda has that with bells on. Then finally, and we move away from law into sort of geopolitics here for a moment, it's really important that the country that you're going to be investing in or through has got suitable bilateral investment treaties with other countries. No country is an island, and those bilateral investment treaties are very important. And Rwanda, quite smartly, politically, has been obtaining those over the years. And the final point is nothing to do with law or regulations, but it's absolutely critical. It's as simple as this. Does the country have reliable power? Does the country have excellent connectivity? Is the company open to technological evolution? What are the transport links like? And most importantly of all, what are the people like? And if you've got great people that are increasingly well educated, that have bilingual skills, heaven forbid I'm British, have brilliant bilingual skills, well, that's incredibly powerful. And so, Rwanda has many of those things. So, as I say, good luck to it.
Thank you so much, Mark. We really appreciate the collaboration that we've had so far and the investments that BII has made into Rwanda. Lerato, moving on to you. Could
Thank you. So as I previously mentioned, we established our first fund, Samuka Future of Work Fund in Kigali, and it is a $21 million fund, which has blended finance. We have debt from DFCs, and then we also have equity. So I'll just focus on highlight the things that investors look for when they're wanting to investment. So let's look at, they want to know the regulatory framework, right? So they're looking who is the regulator, is the fund going to be regulated? And as the Samuka Future of Work Fund, we had our first NTFI license, so that was very important. Non-deposit finance taking institution, because we are an innovative financing product. And we wanted a financing license, which was quite important for us in raising our funds, because our investors wanted to know that we're regulated. They wanted to know that somebody was going to hold us accountable. Once we had that license, the conversations and our DD became much easier. Another thing that's important, as we have, I think we are about 90 or more % foreign investors, so in terms of equity and in terms of debt. So one thing that was quite important is knowing that the regulatory environment allows for foreign investment and foreign ownership in the country. That was also very important. And then the other one is the flow of funds into the country, foreign funds. There's quite a lot of red tape in South Africa. You have to go via Excon. And that could be a bit challenging, right? Because it delays the process of getting the money into the country. It delays the process of signing an investment or signing a debt deal or equity deal. So that was quite important. And luckily, we didn't run into many challenges with getting the money into Kigali. And knowing that, another important question that came up, what is the cost of funding, right? Because you can get the funds into the country, you can invest into the fund in Kigali, but then when you're starting making interest payment and capital payments, how much of that is going to be costly to the investor? So having tax laws that are favorable for foreign investment has been quite amazing for us. So yeah, it's not challenges per se, it's the questions that become important that you need to show as evidence before you get the money invested into Kigali. Thank you.
Thank you, Lerato. We're now going to move on to Benjamin. Sarah's keeping you today, but I want to end with you. Rwanda has been making significant strides into becoming a digital economy. Briefly elaborate the role of mobile money and digital wallets in Rwanda's financial landscape and how Lerato contributes to this ecosystem.
Cool. Thank you. I think East Africa leads the whole continent for mobile money payments. If you look at the GSMA report, State of the Industry report, last year, about $691 billion is moved across Africa. I think $436 billion is just East Africa alone. So across Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, those markets carry the bulk load of those volumes that moved on mobile money. And even on Nala, we see the largest transactions we have is people moving money from like the UK, France, Belgium, etc., the US to Rwandan mobile money accounts. And so I think there's big opportunities in mobile money that create an enabler. I think the question that we always look at as a team is, how do we make it cheaper, faster, more affordable, and at the best FX rates possible? Because, you know, if you look at the African continent, Africa has the largest, the world's trading currency is the dollar. Whether you like it or not, it'll be that for a long time. And if you look at dollars coming into the markets, whether into Rwanda or euros coming into Rwanda, the pricing of FX depends on what is import and export and what is the trade deficit between each other. And so in markets like Rwanda, they've definitely a large proactive effort into enabling trade more and more. Things that Rwanda have done is things like Rwandan Airlines, trying to promote more, trade, looking at what area where Rwanda is landlocked, but how can we use airlines and things like that to enable more trade across the region. And so as that starts to grow, there's definitely going to be more dollars put into Rwanda, making sure the currency can be more stable across, and then enabling those deposits to happen into mobile money wallets. So I'm optimistic about how mobile money will evolve and grow across Rwanda, and I think the opportunity for trade doesn't just lie within Rwanda, but it also to its neighbors. Rwanda is one of the countries in Africa with a lot of borders and a lot of neighbors that are, you can fly within an hour and a half, I believe, to like 5 countries in Africa. There's not many regions in the whole continent where you can say that. And so there's a really big opportunity for trade and for growth there, and mobile money is an enabler for trade, especially locally and with disbursements that are happening within market. So, you know, with the population, I believe 13 to 14 million in Rwanda, it's one of the most densely populated countries and across the African continent. But mobile money is what enables that trade more directly versus waiting for manual bank transfers.
Now that you're fully operational, fully licensed in Rwanda, what are your plans for Rwanda? What can people from the audience today who want to invest in Rwanda or through Rwanda expect from you?
Okay, thank you, Lise. Well, in terms of experience, we believe that the process of obtaining our license could have been a bit faster. To give you a sense of the timelines, we submitted our application forms and the pile of documents in January this year, and we got our license in August. It felt to us that some of the application forms, some of the documents that we needed to submit could have been a bit more complete in terms of checklists and intuitive as well, to avoid back and forth. We also had issues and challenges when it came to explaining the concept of shareholding against beneficial ownership. That was tough. But that said, this is behind us now. We are delighted that we have our license. In fact, this steep process gave us some comfort as well that the regulator was aiming at licensing players who had the means and who had the technical competence and who had the good repute. So that was in some way the good thing. So this is behind us. We have our license from the central bank, a TCSP license, a Trust and Corporate Service Provider license from La Banque Nationale du Rwanda, which is the central bank. On this basis, we are looking forward to be getting a no objection letter from the Capital Markets Authority to operate as a fund administrator. So we firmly believe that KIFC is going to be a funds jurisdiction. We have already seen a lot of interest from GPs and LPs to either set up new funds in KIFC, but also to redomicile funds from other jurisdictions into Rwanda. And so we are investing heavily into people and into infrastructure. We have already recruited some fund specialists in Mauritius, which we are going to second to Kigali. And we are going to deploy our funds platform. We use a reputable fund administration platform called Paxos, Pacific Fund Systems. And so our ambition is to leverage on our fund administration team in Mauritius, where we have around 75 people managing nearly 23 billion worth of assets under administration. So we want to leverage on those skills, on this experience over the last 30 years to offer a first-class delivery service according to the players in that space worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Didier. Thank you for shedding light on the work that's being done by the Rwanda National Bank, BNR, to basically ensure investor protection and stability, which is the process that you kind of touched on. But we're also excited to see the work that you're going to do in Kigali International Financial Center. Now we would like to open up the floor for any questions. Again, here we have absolutely clear? Okay, good. Thank you so much to our wonderful panelists for the insightful discussions that you've shared today. We really appreciate having you with us.
Thank you very much again to our panelists once again. And we are moving on to our final session, which will be closing remarks from Jean-Marie Kananura, who is the Chief Investment Officer at Rwanda Finance Limited. Welcome, Jean-Marie.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Thank you very much for attending this session. Your Excellency, High Commission, dear speakers, panelists, thank you very much for joining this session and sharing your experience. And for investors such as Ditos, Johnston, Nala, thank you very much for believing in our mission and vision, and accepting to set up your investment vehicles and entities under KFC. KFC or Kigali International Financial Center might be a newcomer, but we are making giant steps, and we are doing our best to streamline the process and to make sure that your journey as an investor in Rwanda is as smooth as possible. And I don't know if you've seen that, but in the last Global Financial Center Index, KFC was number 3, just behind Mauritius and Casablanca. Not bad for a financial hub that was created like 4 years ago. And we are, as I said, we are doing our best to keep improving our process and working with our stakeholders to make sure that your journey is as smooth as possible. Today, just to give you a snapshot, we have close to 110 members that have set up their investment vehicles in Rwanda, mainly holding companies, service providers like Ditos, but also fintechs. Investors are coming and choosing Rwanda because they believe in, I would say, 3 value proposition, which is our legal framework. As Mark said, we've done our best to make sure that our legal framework and the regulation are up to the international standards. And we've seen this because we have institutional investors that are choosing to structure their investment in Rwanda. We have the like of Africa Development Bank that has set up their pharmaceutical foundation. We have UNDP that has just announced what they're going to call Timbuktu Fund, which is a fund that is going to invest in startups across the continent. We have Afrexim Bank that has their fund manager entity domiciled in Rwanda. All those investors are investing on the continent, not only in Rwanda. So this gives us confidence that what we are doing is right, and we see more investors coming. So and to conclude, we also see investors coming to invest in Rwanda through setting up different entities like holding, as I mentioned. And the idea why they're coming is because we are very well located. in the heart of the continent, very easy to access, very easy to, there's no visa required. So for Africans, for example, doing business across the continent is very convenient because there's no visa required for them to come to Rwanda. And we are also bilingual, so very much connected to Francophone as well as Anglophone world. And we are also making, as I said, our process very easy. So it's easy to set up the company. We are improving our process to get the license. Didier mentioned that it took 6 months, 7 months. The last discussion we had with RDB through the one-stop center and central bank as well as capital markets, the time frame has been reduced to 3 months. So just to highlight again that we are making sure that the journey is as smooth as possible. And yeah, so just again wanted to thank you all for participating to this discussion. Thank you very much, High Commissioner. Thank you very much, panelists. And we are still around for, again, 2 days. So if you have any question or if you want to have like a one-on-one, we have an exhibition booth. So we are very much happy to have a more detailed and technical discussion with you. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you everybody for attending our session. Please feel free to visit our booth and talk more with our colleagues here from Rwanda Development and Kigali Finance. Okay, all right. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the day.